All right, this is the watch list video for April 11th, which is what, Thursday? Yeah, wow, Thursday. Another narrow range day in the SPY. It was really dead this morning, but we ended up having a few nice calls in the chat room. And what I'm watching for Thursday, one second, I'm going to bring this over. I have to highlight Nicholas, his ATAI over 3, and he put out Rule 29 for you people in chat. You know what that means. And then like 1 second after that, we both, in other words, Nicholas and I both saw the volume spike at the same time. I put the volume spike out. He put out the actual idea, over 3. Let's go back and look at that for those of you that weren't there today. I'm actually going to go to 1 minute candles because this was really strong all day. And then there's that volume spike that Nicholas and I both said. His idea was through the whole number 3 because the high of day was only, the earlier high of day was only 9 cents above that. And look, it settles in for a minute. So anyone and everyone had time because it popped and then put kind of an inside ones candle in and then just ripped through 3 and ended up going to 450 at one point. Just a great heads up and another example of teamwork. I love the teamwork in the chat room. Great idea by Nicholas. Here's what I'm watching for tomorrow. Again, if you're not in chat every day, there's a good chance you're going to miss a big one like that. And that the cool thing about that one is ATAI had already moved up big, right? But keeping the recent movers on a chart can pay off really well. All right. Anyway, VTL, watching this one, had a huge 2-day run. I'll give you some numbers. It basically went from 25 cents to 92 cents in 2 sessions, and now we're a couple days lower on declining volume. A pretty good setup for a turn back up tomorrow. We'll see if we get a low risk intraday setup. I actually have lift on Bounce Watch. I waited all day. I said I'm going to buy this if it takes out 60, right? I want to bid below 60 because it had fallen so far. This was the 3rd day down in a row after a 4-day bounce and almost as big of a range as the opening day. I mean, look at the size of that candle. So I wanted it below the whole number divisible by 10. Unfortunately, and I'll show you 2-minute candles, it breaches 60 with like 3 minutes left. I still had a bid. I put in a bid for 59.57 or something like that. I wanted it right in front of the half, and it went down to 75. I missed it by less than 20 cents, and then it ended up bouncing up, I don't know, almost a buck from there, but I didn't get filled. I was still, even that late in the day, willing to try it. Having said all that, this is really beaten up from the IPO day. A couple nasty days, then a gap down, then a 4-day climb on pretty low volume, and now your 3rd day down in a row again, just ripping to new lows. Really big candle today. That one definitely goes on Bounce Watch for tomorrow. NBEV goes on Long Watch, had the big pop, then an inside day, then gap down a little bit this morning. And I really love this. If you were in chat, I really love this over 6 when it looked like this, because over 6 you have the earlier high of day is just 603, and NBEV being a recent high flyer, and you got this intraday cup and handle, seller at 6, loved everything about it, and it never broke 6. But it still goes on Long Watch for tomorrow. We still closed above the open. 6 might become an inflection point entry tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how it acts, right? IOVA, big 3-day move, 2 days lower on declining volume, and then a nice reversal today, closing at the highs. That one goes on Long Watch. MLNT, this one's kind of obscure, but after this big volume day 3 sessions ago, went to 550, it's kind of flagging. So I want to watch that one. ALT, let me zoom in so you can see this a little better. This one is just had this pop back here, then a secondary pop, and then grinding along. Then it tried to break out back into the range, grinding, but very close to the highs, which is, I'm going to round up and say 334 back on this day. Then it hit 330 a couple sessions ago. Then today closes at 330, closes right at the high. So I really like it for a breakout of this range. All right, so I want to watch that one tomorrow. XNet. This one and some other Bitcoin stocks strong today. XNet looks really good out of this range. So it topped out at 430 here, hit 431 here. Today's high, 429. So I like it, just a breakout of this, I don't know, week and a half range. Riot. Riot I called when Bitcoin was breaking out today. I called it in chat if you weren't there. I called it at 464 with a 454 stop. It didn't stop out, and it went to 495 and closed pretty strong. And the daily still looks decent. We'll have to see how Bitcoin looks in the morning. But after the gap up, you're kind of flagging whole number 5 break. Might get you to this 515 recent high and then maybe a squeeze. So that one's a decent setup. Mara, MARA, big breakout today with Bitcoin and a strong close. Definitely want to watch that one tomorrow. Maybe a red to green, something like that. YRIV after this 2-day pop. It's really just still kind of flagging. Want to watch that one. VNTR, nice volume day today, up near the top of a range. Maybe it continues and breaks out of that range tomorrow. And then lastly, I've got GLG, which there's nothing pretty here, but in after hours, looks like it closed out at 235. At one point, it was almost 3 in after hours. So I'm assuming they had news. We'll see where it opens tomorrow. It could be a gap and go play. And by the time we open, it might not be gapping at all. So anyway, it caught my attention in after hours, seeing some action. All right, teamwork's fantastic in chat. Let's just keep it up. Volume's really, really low, but we're still weeding out some really nice setups. So let's just keep it up. And I'll see everybody tomorrow in chat. Have a great night.